Welcome.
And we're back, baby. Welcome back to the ladies. Welcome back to the league. Welcome back to the Free Gems Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
FGP.
Listen, you got your co-host, you got Jit G's here. You know what I'm saying? We got K Senko across the room. Pardon me, I'm a little off, y'all. I just caught a flat on the way here. I just had a whole bunch of bullshit going on. Uber just took like 6 minutes to come get me at the least fucking courteous time, the least convenient time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we here, we made it. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, that's all that matters. We here
Senko's
right now.
always on time. We don't ever got to worry about that.
Yo, bro, he just told me off camera. Yo, how I wake up early just to still be late. I'm tight.
Bro, early. You know when you get up rushing to somewhere and you didn't even get to take your morning shit. Like that's what had me tight. Like more than anything, I'm like, yo, bro, I rolled out of bed so fast to make sure I got here on time just to catch a fucking flat in this one car. I got this possessed car. People who don't know, I just fucking red Benz. The shit is possessed.
Yo,
son.
listen,
I don't know what demon is in that shit.
I'm about to say you gotta take that shit to a medium or something.
Yo, word to a witch doctor or something. Listen, if y'all know some good Cuban witch doctors, let me know. We gonna do a prayer. We gonna cut a chicken head or something over it because
you gotta spray the sage all around the car.
Nah, on God though, like no, all jokes aside, something's wrong with that car.
No,
like, every time, every chance I get. Like, and I don't even get to drive that. Out the last 10 times I drove that car, it's probably been 2 years. And within 2 years, I probably drove that car probably 10 times. There's been something wrong with it like 5-6 times.
Yeah, no, literally.
Like, yo, come on, son.
Hey, but we here. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. Listen, because listen, we've had one of the craziest weeks / weekends / 2-3 weeks of this shit. Listen, if you don't know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, you're living under a rock. You know what we here to talk about for the next 50 minutes. It is straight Kendrick and Drake talk, bruh. Let's break it down. This shit's gotten crazy.
Before we get started now, I just want to say, like, as far as like rap beefs and rap battles are concerned, as far as coming out with a track and response and a back and forth, I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this.
Never. This is the greatest rap beef of all time.
I think so. As
on
far
so
as
many levels.
Straight, on what we're talking about, straight rap. Absolutely, you feel me? We're not talking about anything that happened in real life to make the altercation, but we're talking about straight bars and rap.
We're talking about bars, rap, the shit that was uncovered.
I don't think
games, the 4D chess that was played, the fact that nobody got shot nor touched. It ain't getting violent.
Well, apparently, I don't know if there's any connection, but
nah, there's no connection. I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about Cash. The Weeknd's man, somebody got shot in front of his crib.
In front of Drake's crib.
It wasn't Drake's crib. It was in front of Cash's crib. It wasn't Drake's crib.
They said it was Drake's crib in Toronto. That's what I heard.
Oh, in Toronto? I ain't hear that.
That's what I heard.
Oh, listen, shit is spooky. I don't know. None of that has to do with any of this. But if that's what's going on, then this shit's getting freaky. I ain't know that was happening. I ain't hear about that.
I don't know if it's connected, but apparently somebody got hit outside of Drake's crib and what he did.
If you spit it on niggas in Toronto, bro, you dragged it. Because I just thought about that would mean that Kendrick's side did something to somebody in Toronto.
Well, then it could be unrelated. Like it could be. Unrelated.
It is unrelated. I'm refusing to believe that. You know what I'm saying? There's too much money going on, too much gangster shit going on for a motherfucker to make himself the clear suspect for some shit that I don't think that's what happened. But.
I hope everyone's all right. But
listen, let's talk about it. I think we should start off by going, all right, before we even break down everything that just happened, where are you at with it? Like, who are you siding with right now? Who do you think's winning? Who do you think's in the lead? Because we don't even know. These motherfuckers could drop 4 more tracks by tonight.
I don't know how true this is, but apparently they said Kendrick's not even going to respond to that. But who I think's Kendrick packing him up.
You think Kendrick packed him up?
I think Kendrick packed him up. Okay. Honestly.
Okay.
I think now, as far as the whole daughter situation is concerned, I think that
the whole daughter, which daughter? The situation you got? They airing out all the kids. This shit getting spooky.
As far as the daughter that Drake supposedly has, if that's false, I think that definitely loses some points for Kendrick. But I think he still, I think he still has enough lead where it doesn't even matter. And there's a lot of inconsistencies with Drake's part as well. You know, so many inconsistencies.
I think we gotta start off really though by breaking down exactly how the sequence of events happened. So Drake drops the first diss track. Well, technically, Kendrick dropped like that. Future and Metro dropped like that with the Kendrick feature. Kendrick throws a light jab.
Wait. No. You got to. If you want to go back, we got to go take it back a little before that.
Okay.
So apparently, like I think Control is like 2014, something around there.
Yeah.
10 years ago or so,
2015.
where he's calling out a lot of different rappers and everything. And
right, Kendrick calling out a bunch of rappers.
Yeah, Kendrick calling out a bunch of rappers saying, as competition. And apparently, the only one who did not take that well is Drake. I bet the only one who really got salty about being called out was Drake. So
Yeah.
and then fast forward, apparently Drake reached out to Kendrick about being on first person shooter. And Kendrick denied going on first person shooter. And yeah, that's what I'm hearing is that Kendrick denied the invitation and then it was just Cole and Drake, you feel me? And
I didn't know that. See, I did hear Kendrick say something on one of the tracks talking about I denied your feature, like I'm good off that. But it's like you said, right after Kendrick dropped the Control verse, which was like one of the most controversial hip hop verses. The Control verse was like the friendly version of How to Rob the Industry. Like
it was.
He shouted out every popping rapper right then and there at that time, and was like, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you. Like, I literally quote word for word what he said. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. And after that, Drake did go on a couple of radio stations, and he was doing interviews. This so long ago, Drake was still doing media runs and stuff like this. This is how long ago this was. But Drake did. I did see the interview where he was talking about like, man, I'm good off the Kendrick verse right now. This is like 2014, 2015. Drake speaking like this. He's like, I'm good. I don't really think and nobody that he shouted out is gonna be working with him on this next album coming out. So there was a lot of resentment for sure towards Kendrick from Drake's side.
Apparently Drake was the only one who had felt some type of way personally about it.
A lot of people understood. A lot of the other artists that were mentioned in the song understood. Like, yo, this is friendly competition. He didn't really violate. He just told y'all like, listen, I'm better than y'all. If y'all want to rap, drop something against me. Nobody responded at the time. You know what I'm saying? 2015, Kendrick was on a different tear. Like you didn't want to just fuck around.
Yeah.
And clearly you don't want to fuck around just now either after what we just seen. But listen, so fast forward, damn near 10 years later. Like That comes out.
Yeah.
Future and Metro drop a Kendrick verse, surprise verse of the year. Kendrick not only jumps on this shit, but he starts airing shit out, talking about, it ain't no big three, it's just Big Me.
Yeah.
And that was an open invitation for a motherfucker like Drake who can rap his ass off. Mind you, I got something for you.
Mind you, follow the timeline. He denied a verse on First Person Shooter, and then in First Person Shooter, Drake and J. Cole was like, the Spider-Man meme is like me and Drake, you feel me? So he's like, oh, ain't no big three, it's just Big Me. So
yeah. And then, so once Kendrick does that, Drake follows up with push-ups. With push-ups.
Push-ups went crazy. I ain't gonna lie. And it has a lot of good replay value as well.
And that's I'm gonna get into that.
Replay value.
So Drake drops push-ups, and we're waiting. Kendrick doesn't drop right away. We're all nervous, like, oh shit, what's going on? It's been a couple weeks. Drake also then drops that Tailor Made.
Yep. Then he drops Tailor Made with the AI with
the Tupac and Snoop Dogg AI samples. You know what I'm saying? Which direct jazz at the West Coast, even and using West Coast icons to comedically
little boy him, like, you can't do that to us. You can't let him do
like
this.
Motherfucker, fight back. So that happens, right? And then comes the storm, because I warned you guys right here on Free Gems Podcast.
I ain't gonna lie.
I told you what was gonna happen.
You know what's crazy? Like, we shot an episode talking about it's Kendrick's on the clock.
3 hours before he dropped.
Not even.
Right.
Not even.
Right,
an hour
literally.
before he dropped. And you were saying they're going to go nuke for nuke, and Kendrick's going to come crazy.
I said they're going to go nuke for nuke, and then Kendrick's going to drop an even bigger nuke that's going to shut this shit down.
And you were 100% right. And they've been going crazy in the comments like, yo, he's telling the future. You didn't even see the comments. I know you did. On YouTube, they was going crazy. Like, oh, my God, he saw the future. Yo, this aged beautifully.
Yeah, that's insane. Because I seen it coming, because if you know anything about Kendrick, I'm a super Kendrick fan, stan. Like, I always say Kendrick's first 3 albums, literally, like, I feel like they raised me. Like, well, for Section 80 to Damn.
Not an album for me.
Right, exactly. But Section 80 to Damn, them 4 projects, and those 4, Section 80 to Good Kid, Mad City, to Pimp Butterfly, and Damn. Them 4 right there changed my life. And shout out to Kendrick Lamar EP, Kendrick Lamar OD. Those 2 were fire too, but I listened to those after I was already listening to Section 80.
Yeah.
So, not the point. Point is, so Kendrick comes out. He drops Euphoria. And let me tell you,
I ain't gonna lie, Euphoria is a masterpiece.
Fucking
masterpiece.
If you want to go bar for bar, cadence for cadence, his rollout, the inflections in his voice for certain parts, bro.
He had a whole prologue, epilogue.
Oh my God!
I think we forget the fact that rap and hip hop came from poetry, and Kendrick Lamar reminds you of the fact that it's poetry.
Yes,
because he's an actual poet on the mic. It's a difference. It's difference. Like he created a whole movie masterpiece. Like I said, it had a whole prologue,
right.
epilogue. He had the voice inflections, the beat drops, the beat changes, even making fun of the Canadian accent. Like,
bro, and then what happened was it starts off light. It's a 6-minute song. For a motherfucker to put 6 minutes worth of energy into a track, you understand how mad he got to be, bro? He gave you a 6-minute song. This is Kendrick. That's like half an album for Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to getting one album every 5 years from Kendrick. So I ain't gonna lie, as a fan, we got like 20 minutes worth of music in the last 5 days, bro. I was losing my fucking mind. But we got to go into exactly what was said because Euphoria was like a prequel to what was to come. He let us know in that whole song. He was like, I'm not even going off yet. Just wait.
Yo.
There's a lot of shit I got to uncover, but I'm going to play it smart.
You know what's funny? Euphoria gives me the I'm not mad, I'm disappointed energy. Like, you feel me? It gives me like, yo, I'm not mad at you, but like I gotta like I like Drake when he's singing. I don't like Drake when he act tough.
Right.
Like, I'm a fan of you, but you out here doing
out here doing too much. And it was just insane, bro, because he starts off so calm and peaceful. He's like, when sometimes getting neutralized, yo, bro. He breaks down everything from his upbringing. Like, yo, bro, FUBU was never in your collection. You were never for us by us.
Yo.
Like you're a Tommy Hilfiger. Like you grew up on Tommy Hilfiger. You don't know nothing about FUBU. You know what I'm saying? And that's just playing towards Drake's Canadian background. His white mother, he was raised by his Jewish white mother. He always claimed that. His dad was always in Memphis, never really had much of a relationship with his dad as a kid. It wasn't until later on in life he ended up, as he got access to money and being able to travel a lot, he was able to go really kick it with his dad and pick up that side of him. But it starts off real calm, and then he jumps into like, all right, watch this. But then that last 2 minutes of that fucking Euphoria, he said, let me bleed him. And then he just started flocking at this motherfucker.
He went crazy.
And it was crazy because like the one bad thing I could say about that is that on Kendrick's side, everything Drake said was brand new information. Everything Kendrick said was that we already heard him double down. He said, fuck all that push and P. Let me see you push a T. Like, it was a lot of shit that he was saying that like I said, we already knew. Like the whole, they calling him a deadbeat. They're saying he's a pedophile. He's fucking with young girls and stuff, which is all alleged because we've never seen Drake with an actual like underage girl. But then again, there's been a lot of rumors and speculations. He's talking a lot of little sister who was like 20 or something like that, and Drake's 37. It started playing into that role, and I feel like once Drake responded, I'm not gonna lie, as much of a Kendrick stan that I am.
Family Matters went crazy.
Bro.
Family Matters went crazy.
Yo, bro, when I tell you.
Family Matters went crazy. I'm not even gonna lie.
Family Matters is the one with the van on the cover?
Yeah.
Yo, bro.
With the visuals.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think the potency of us getting new information really impacted a lot of stuff. Because all of a sudden we start hearing that Kendrick's son ain't his son. When the fuck did that come out? All of a sudden, we hear in these rumors that Dave Free, who is Kendrick's business manager, apparently Kendrick's wife cheated on Kendrick with his manager. This is what it is all allegedly.
Yeah.
And in that, he ended up getting her pregnant, and that's that the little boy that Kendrick's claiming as his kid apparently is Dave Free's child.
Allegedly. Yeah.
You gotta keep saying allegedly because we don't know what's going on, but hey, this shit started getting spooky once that came out because only that. Drake starts talking about, yo, like, why don't you talk about the fact you be beating your wife? Like, a matter of fact, that's not even your wife. You proposed in 2015. Why y'all not married?
Why y'all not married? Yeah.
And all this shit started turning the wheels, and we like, hold on, Kenny. Hold on, Kung Fu Kenny. We got to figure something out because if you miss the morale and you out here beating your shorty, like, hold on, gang. There's a lot of things we have to question. A lot of things come into question. And why aren't you married? You've been together since high school. Proposed in 2015 when shit was hot. 9 years later, you move to Brooklyn. You leave LA for Brooklyn to live in a condo. That's not family shit. That's bachelor.
That's what Drake said.
Drake's like, yo, do the math. Who does that? You don't go from a multi-million-dollar mansion to a multi-million-dollar condo to move your family and on the whole other side of the fucking map. Like, I don't know, Kenny. Like, we try to do some math of what's going on, bro. They got 20-something pictures on the internet of Kendrick Lamar in public with his wife and his 2 kids. Now, one of those pictures is that little boy in Kendrick Lamar's hands. They have out those pictures. They have plenty of pictures with Kendrick and his daughter in his hands. None of them apparently have Kendrick's son in his hands. It's a little weird.
I don't know.
It's a little weird.
But
what are the odds of that though? They don't have now. We have 20-something pictures of y'all in public. And now one of them pictures is with you and your son.
And
he'll be in the picture, but Whitney's holding him. Whitney's Kendrick's wife, for people who don't know.
Well, not wife, but you know.
Wife, girlfriend, I don't know what the fuck going on, life partner, whatever. And it's a little wild because they say that has a lot to do with why Kendrick left TDE and went and did his own thing, and that him and Dave Free weren't seen eye to eye for a long time, and it's kind of like painting this picture like, yo, what's going on in Kendrick's private life, bro? Like, does Drake really have this ammo? What's going on? Where is this coming from?
Yeah, and if we go back to Euphoria, it's crazy because Kendrick says in the prologue exactly what Drake was gonna say.
Right, like you heard Mr. Morale, so you fabricating all this stuff.
Yep. And then I think he's alluding to, even in the most recent track that Drake came out with, saying that you haven't seen you guys are not together. You haven't seen your kids in 6 months. But in Mr. Morale, he says that they're not together anymore.
Right.
You feel me? Drake also comes at the fact that he says you were touched as a kid, but that's not what Mr. Morale says. So he definitely misinterpreted Mr. Morale in the wrong way. But
I mean, yeah, that's fast forwarding because listen, all I know is the second Drake responded, this nigga Kendrick dropped 18 minutes later.
Yeah.
That was the most devious shit I've ever seen.
Honestly, I was saying, like, in those 2 weeks, Kendrick was locked himself in a closet and reread The Art of War.
Yo, bro, he was the wild. Bro, I'm literally driving in the car listening to the Drake response, listening to Family Matters. And the Family Matters, the whole plot is dope because if you know Good Kid, Mad City on Kendrick's album, he has the minivan is on the cover art.
Yeah.
So the whole Family Matters, the whole plot on the Family Matters music video, the visualizer for Drake's diss track was the minivan being shipped around this junkyard, which is a gravesite for a vehicle, which is pretty much symbolic to like, yo, I'm about to destroy everything you ever built. Watch this. Like, fuck this album. Fuck everything you stood for. Fuck Good Kid, Mad City. Your one classic that people say you only have one classic. Watch what I do to this whole shit. And just, bro, strategically, Drake is just on another level because that happened. Kendrick responds with what was it called? Oh, Meet the Grams.
But before you get into that, and he shot a whole visual for this in L.A. and Toronto, even at the Chinese food spot that Kendrick mentioned.
And mind you, this was the same day.
Yeah, he literally
Kendrick dropped Euphoria, if I'm not mistaken.
Like it was Tuesday. It was definitely on Tuesday. He dropped Euphoria because we were here.
Oh yeah, you're right. So about 3 days later, it was on Friday night.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, it was Friday night. I think
Friday night Kendrick drops. Drake drops
Family Matters.
Family Matters. And Kendrick responds right away. I'm talking about 18. As I'm listening to Family Matters, people are calling me, yo, Kendrick just dropped. I'm like, what are you talking about? No, he didn't. Bro, the boy drops 18 minutes later. I don't know how. But what I do know is, yo, bro,
he took the air out of Family Matter.
Yo, listen, when I tell you, bro, that song made me uncomfortable because
that was dark. That was dark,
bro. I felt like I was being walked into a fucking like an asylum, like some type of like creepy like funeral home. Just the beat selection,
he literally,
the tone in his voice.
He opens it up saying "Dear Adonis." I'm like, oh, here we go.
Bro. I'm like,
oh, that's crazy.
I'm like, he chose violence. He chose violence right on top. Like, yo, bro, Dear Adonis. That's the illest way to ever start a track, bro. And the memes are fucking limitless. Like, you see the dream, the meme. Everybody's like when Drake tries to yell at Adonis, and he runs in his room, and he plays this Dear Adonis. I'm sorry that man is your father. Yo. I'm like, oh my god, yo. But listen, so Kendrick had alluded to in Euphoria. He's like, hey, I got people in OVO that's on the payroll. Like, you might want to stop playing. You got a mole in your camp, whole bunch of other stuff.
That wasn't Euphoria. That was the next one he dropped.
Well, Euphoria, he had mentioned like, yo, I got something for you. Like, I got motherfuckers in there that's dying to tell. Like, he was like, you got people in your camp that say you deserve this. Like,
oh yes,
he was saying that like he had people in his camp that he was connected to, and that was saying that Drake deserves this.
I think
for a fact in Euphoria he said that.
Okay,
for a fact in Euphoria.
And that, but I feel like the second one doubled down on the fact that you had a mole, and he was saying there's 100 people in your camp, and 20 of them wishing on your downfall.
Right.
So he doubled down on that, and then. Keep going. I just want to.
What happens is as we're listening to this verse, he goes, "Dear Adonis." Then he goes, "Dear Dennis." Dennis is Drake's father. Bro, he wrote a letter in this song. Every verse was a letter to a family member in Drake's family.
Yeah, literally.
So he goes to his son,
his
father, and he goes, "Dear Sandra, let me let you know how your son's a bitch." I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. But then he throws us off with yo, bro, he drops a verse aimed at apparently Drake has an 11-year-old daughter. And let me tell you, bro, when I heard him say that, I had to pull over. I said, "What the?" I pulled over. I said, "What the fuck is he talking about?" I'm losing it. Like, no, bro, no fucking way. He has another kid, bro. No, I'm like, this ain't gotta be Dominican, bro. Where does he keep popping up these secret families, son? I'm like, yo. My brain was so blown off the fucking hinges.
Like, no way that just happened. I'm like, yo. My first reaction was like, yo, honestly. Drake need to stop getting into beefs because all his secret kids are just coming out of the woodwork. All his family's just coming out of the woodwork.
This shit's going quick, and then he ends he ends that song "Meet the Grams" with a "Dear Drake," like basically, let me holler at you, Aubrey, dear Aubrey.
Yeah,
and
I think like in a lot of the verses on Kendrick's side, I feel like he's talking to Drake directly. You feel me?
Oh yeah,
he's talking to him.
He's talking to his spirit. He's like, let me really holler at you, like, and even down so. As Drake responds, I mean, Kendrick responds with that, and we don't hear nothing from Drake, and everybody's expecting him to respond within the next like couple hours too.
And the only thing we see Drake post is a picture, and it says somebody reach out, find my secret daughter for me. LOL, these guys are in shambles or something like that.
Right.
And then if we follow the timeline, Not Like Us drops.
Right. Not Like Us drops, I think like a day or two later. No, the next day.
No, the next day.
Yeah,
no, it was the same night because he dropped 3 songs in one day. Because in the morning, it was 3 songs in one day.
Oh my God!
I'm pretty sure it was 3 songs in one day.
In total, 3 songs in one day.
Yeah,
because it was.
No. I think Kendrick dropped 3 songs in one day. I think.
Nah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because Euphoria came out, and then I can't think of the second one. It was the second one came out the morning of, and then. Nah. It might be 3 in total.
Yeah, it was 3 in total. That's what I'm saying. But the second one, what the fuck was the second one? Now, why am I drawing a blank right now? He did. It was Euphoria. Then he dropped some slowed down shit.
Yeah, when he was talking about the people in his camp. That's when he was talking about people in his camp.
So that wasn't Meet the Grams though.
No,
exactly. You're right.
Then Meet the Grams came out after Family Matters. Is what I'm saying.
He dropped 4 songs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Kendrick did drop 4 songs.
Yeah.
Oh shit! You're right because he dropped 616 in L.A.
That's what. 616 in L.A.
616 in L.A. Kendrick dropped 616 in L.A., which is actually a play on how Drake does these timestamps with these location songs. Like he'll do like 313 Western Road or 416 in Toronto or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
That came out before Meet the
right. That came out before Meet the Grams.
Not Meet the that came out before Meet the Grams, and it came out before Family Matters.
Right? Because whoa, what the fuck, yo? The timeline was so crazy, yo. This is the craziest.
That's what I'm saying. So much was going on.
We used to one track with another track, and that's it, bro. They was just flooding this shit, bro. It was amazing. But the 616 in California, in LA, the play on that is that 616 is not only Tupac's birthday, but that's also Father's Day.
Father's Day.
So there was so much strategy into everything that Kendrick and Drake were doing. But let me tell you how this shit all plays out. Because I witnessed what 4D Chess really was the second Drake came out with the last diss song. Oh my God. And this is why I have to lean towards Drake. The more I love Kendrick,
I don't know.
and I wanna go with the lyric bias, but I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I'm
not gonna lie, bro. Did you really go into depth of what Drake really did with the last diss track?
Yeah.
Like down
explain it. I'm
gonna explain it for the people for sure. But did you know about like the cover art and everything on Kendrick's album? I mean the last when Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams.
Yes.
Did you see the cover art?
Yes.
It was like the Maybach glove and it was like a shirt and a couple other things.
I don't think that wasn't the Meet the Grams. That was 6 and.
Sure. Right.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes. It was the Maybach glove with the Ozempic.
You saw that?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what that has to do with anything?
No, I don't.
Let me explain. It's lit. Perfect. Okay, so look. Drake's last diss track. What was it called? The last one that just dropped.
I can't after Like That came out.
No.
After Not Like Us.
Not Like Us comes out, right? So Kendrick comes out with Not Like Us, which is like a club anthem. And it had his mustard on the beat. It's very West Coast.
Very West Coast.
The whole point it was to like take the attention almost away from the last two diss tracks, because this is what ended up happening. Not Like Us. Great song,
great bop,
hit. Kendrick doubles down some more on the pedophile vibes.
Must have been an A minor.
Listen, he had a whole lot of catchy parts. Listen, he freaky ass nigga using a 69 God. Freaky ass nigga using a 69 God.
Say
Listen, Kendrick did some shit with that, but then Drake drops, and let me tell you, bro. The craziest part about all that is, so in the song, yo, bro, what the fuck is the song called?
The Hard Part 6, yeah.
It was so many songs.
Hard Part 6,
my brain could not. I'm like, okay, the Hard Part 6. So the Hard Part 6, the Hard Part anything is Kendrick's, like, he has like this thing, Hard Part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He just dropped 5 a couple years ago. This is Hard Part 6. So now, same way he did a similar, he played on the way Drake titles a song, 616 in LA. Drake does the Hard Part 6 to disrespect Kendrick. Cool. And in this song, he exposes that not only was Kendrick being fed information, yes, there was somebody feeding Kendrick information, but that shit was all a plot. All the information that was being leaked to Kendrick was purposely being leaked to him by Drake. The idea of Kendrick thinks he's all up one because he's getting all this information. Drake's telling these people to tell him this information. So apparently the whole concept of like, I have a secret daughter, that was fed to Kendrick on purpose by Drake's camp so he thinks he has something to load up on. That's being fed. I want to hear what you have to say.
I was gonna say, now I heard that angle, but honestly, when you look at the timeline, I'm not really buying it.
So you think Drake really has an 11-year-old daughter out there?
No. So first of all, that's not. I saw an article 10 years ago about that. Okay. It's not a new concept. Feel me? Apparently, she. I don't think it's true, but apparently it was a live bottle, some Haitian live bottle girl. Mm-hmm. But you know, there was an old article about that. But as far as the timeline is concerned, like, you got to realize Drake is a troll. Right. Drake is a troll. Drake is very petty.
Okay.
And he's very detailed, and he made the visuals to Family Matters and everything. And his initial reaction after Meet the Grams came out was saying about a secret daughter. These guys are in shambles. I feel like, and then 2 days later, that's when he drops
the Hard Part 6.
Yeah, but I feel like as far as the timeline is concerned, how the timeline adds up, I don't think he would have been as defensive initially if he was feeding him the information. I feel like he would have been trolling. I feel like he would have, like the Drewski meme, haha, we got him. You feel me? I feel like he would have been more of a troll. I feel like he would have recorded it, screenshots or something to let us know, like, damn, bro, you a dummy. Like we done fed you this information. I feel like he was, me personally, I feel like he was more regurgitating a lot of conspiracy theories that was floating around the internet. I don't necessarily. As far as the timeline adds up and how big of a troll he is, I think he would have tripled and dippled down on it and be like, damn, bro, you stupid as hell. But I feel like it was more so he was just this last project. The last drop, he was just more being defensive and a lot of stuff that was floating around the internet. Like, okay. I feel like if it was 5D chess, he would have showed his hand. Like, Drake is more like really petty. That's how I feel. I think he would have showed his hand more.
I'm so excited that you feel that way, because this is exactly how crazy this motherfucker Drake is. Let me explain to you what 4D chess is. All right, so boom. Not only did Drake say, "Yo, I'm feeding you this information because I knew you was gonna be thirsty and go run with it," because they knew that he was looking around, he was trying to find some information. Kendrick's camp was reaching out to whoever to try to get this information. So in the midst of all this, a picture had leaked to Kendrick's camp that was supposedly things that were found in Drake's dad's car. That's what that second album cover was on Kendrick's the second diss track, 616 in LA, with the Maybach glove and the shirt and a bunch of random stuff. That picture was leaked from Drake's camp on purpose to Kendrick. This is how the timeline is going to all make sense in a second. Okay, so Drake understands that Kendrick was thirsty for information, which he said that on the Hard Part 6. He said, "You thirsty? You didn't even get the fact check, nothing. You just ran with whatever anybody told you. Cool." Yo, bro, Drake's so strategic, bro, that he didn't even realize. He knew Kendrick was going to use that picture. especially because of the Ozempic and a bunch of other stuff, right? Not knowing that whole picture is actually a subliminal diss to Kendrick Lamar. Now, not only to Kendrick, but to a couple people involved. Now pay attention. The Maybach glove with the Ozempic next to it. Rick Ross diss. Number one. The shirt says Shorty. At the bottom of it, it's a Planned Parenthood receipt. A play on, that's not your kid. Your Shorty is not your kid, Kendrick. And now you use this as an album cover without realizing you're dissing yourself and the people that you came in aligned with. Like, he got Kendrick to use a picture that's subliminally dissing himself. And then Kendrick went double back and had to take that off because he realized that he was dissing himself. And then Kendrick realized, oh shit, this whole shit is a lie. He didn't have no fucking 11-year-old daughter. This shit was fed to me because they knew exactly what was going on. So then Kendrick had to go ahead and drop the Do You Not Like Us to try to take the attention away from the last shit because, this might not be so potent. Let's try to make something that's going to compete in the club because push-ups right now, drop a 50 bag on the
Yo, that shit go hard.
That shit goes crazy.
Family Matters go crazy too.
Hey, listen.
As far as replay value.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, no matter how you want to play it, yeah, Kendrick had potent lyrics, but if half of what you said is complete bullshit and niggas just got you to spend 10 out of them 20 minutes you talking about nothing, what you talking about don't even exist, that's ill. You can't say, listen, if you spent half of that time talking about some shit that don't even exist, niggas just played you, gang. Played you in the illest of ways. You wasted a lot of that time, talent, and that shit don't hit the same if it's not true.
If it's not true, that's a fact.
If it's completely not true and what Drake said was true, or even kind of true, we have a problem. We have something to talk about. If that kid ain't yours, that's not even the big problem. But that kid ain't yours and you beat your bitch, Mr. Morale, it's not looking so moral no more, gang. And I love Kendrick, but that's a real big.
Nah, that's a demerit on his belt. But I think there was inconsistencies on both sides. Like
of course. Go ahead.
Like I was saying before, as far as he was saying Kendrick was touched. Obviously, he didn't really listen. He was saying you haven't seen your wife in 6 months. Obviously, he didn't really listen.
Right.
Also, he said he brought. It also was really weird how he was saying how I'm too big to be an abuser or a pedo. I'm like, that's a red flag right there. That's very, very, very strange. Right?
Well, Drake's really pretty much just saying, like, you think there wouldn't be a lot more allegations by now after 15, 16 years of being famous and being rich? Like, you don't think there'd be a lot more people out here trying to bomb me and trying to get this money from me? Like,
but there's been famous people who have been doing that for years. And
I ain't gonna lie though, I never really heard too many rumors about Drake. And
I haven't either. I'm not saying
I'm not saying that's starting to pop up now that he's in his late 30s.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I'm on the record saying I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying. That's a little strange defense, and he brought up the fact he said that that Kendrick was defending R. Kelly, which was a lie. That wasn't even Kendrick who said that. That was Top who said that. As far as if they take R. Kelly's music off Spotify or streaming, that he would threaten to pull Kendrick's music. Kendrick didn't even say that. That was Top who said that. So that's another lie that Drake told.
I ain't gonna lie though. One of the illest. Oh, go ahead.
No. And then so he wants to call Kendrick a hypocrite for calling him a pedo while defending R. Kelly, which he never did. But Drake, you want to call Kendrick a woman beater, but in the same song you want to shout out Chris Brown. You want to talk about being a hypocrite.
Well, Chris Brown also doesn't claim to be Mr. Morale.
That's not the point.
That is the point.
Chris
Brown is big blood. He's not claiming to be Mr. Morale. But Kendrick is claiming to be Mr. Morale and all holy.
But see, that's the difference between Drake and Kendrick. The whole Mr. Morale album is a therapy session. He is bringing his demons to light.
Right.
He's admitting the fact that he has demons. And I don't know about the abuse or whatever the case may be. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how untrue it is. Could be allegations, could be a real thing. But he's laying on the line saying, I'm not perfect. You feel me?
But his diss track also did say, raising your son, you don't know nothing about that. Teaching him morals, know nothing about that. Praying and something, know nothing about that. You want to act all holy, but you out here wilding. But I'm just saying, you playing on the angle of being this holy person. Like literally, he talks about God and Christ and church and prayer.
And what's part of that? admitting you're not perfect.
I understand that.
It's all encompassing.
But Drake, it's all fair play for me to call you out on not being so holy.
Oh, of course.
If that's what you claiming.
Of course.
And that don't mean that I'm saying, and Chris Brown never claimed to be that.
No. But I'm just saying as far as I'm just saying as far as the inconsistencies, you want to you want to reach at Kendrick and say he's being hypocritical, but you want to call out Chris Brown on the album. I mean, on a disc when you're talking to him about abusing women. Yes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Nah, shit is spooky, bro. Because I mean, for real, when you think about it, it's like there's certain disses, bro. Drake said some slick shit, bro. He said, "Yeah, Pops got robbed by Top,
but she didn't.
Your Pops got robbed by Top. Y'all Wayne and Stunner like father like son.
Crazy. That was crazy."
And now, if you listen,
that was crazy.
Well, if y'all don't know, Top is the owner of TDE Records.
Yes.
Top is a reputable, big time drug dealer from the 80s and 90s from Compton or from Watts, if I'm not mistaken.
Apparently, Drake ain't hear Duckworth correctly, but keep going.
But if you hear Duckworth correctly, then you understand exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Top did rob Kendrick's pop.
No.
He robbed him at the store. What you mean?
He robbed the store. That ain't the same thing.
He ran up in the store. This is a robbery, and and Duckworth, which is Kendrick Lamar's father, was like, "Here, 2 extra biscuits, some free chicken while you guys are standing in line."
Yeah.
AKA, he bitched them out the store. He bitched them out the food.
That's your job, bro. It ain't the same thing. But keep going.
But regardless, though, was there a robbery between Duck and Top? Yes, that happened. These are facts. Kendrick admitted that.
No. I know.
Kendrick admitted that.
I understand.
That bar is crazy.
No.
Because they jacking that Top is extorting Kendrick for 50%, which is the whole drop and give me 50. That whole line is about that.
Yes.
So it's like, damn, that's a hell of an entendre. Like, how is the nigga that robbed 2 generations of y'all gang? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's a crazy bar.
That was a crazy bar.
These are facts.
That was a crazy bar. That was a crazy bar. But I think that was a little misleading as well. But it was a crazy bar.
It ain't even misleading. That happened. That is a fact. That is the wittiest, factual shit that Kendrick said it. Kendrick said it first. You made a whole song about how this nigga robbed your father. Like, now this nigga burglarized your father's store and your pops was scary and said, "Here you go, sir." He said, "We knew they shot a customer in line last year. Nigga, here's 2 extra biscuits every time."
Free chicken,
right? You know I'm talking free chicken.
That's what I know.
AKA your pops is a bitch. Every time he see me, he was getting extorted, nigga. I don't give a fuck if it's your job. You got extorted. That's crazy. 30 years later, you the biggest rapper, and he robbing you for half a year. Come on. That's a crazy bar.
That is a crazy bar.
That's what I'm saying. Like Drake was in that last in that hard part 6. He goes, "Man, what I'm talking about is facts." He said, "Bring me some receipts. I'm talking about facts." That has to burn, bro. And the fact that Drake has new ammo, we're listening to old ammo. The only thing Kendrick made that was new was the whole pedophile side and talking about you got people in your camp that's pedophiles, and Bacchanal Nice got a weird sex charge. People looked into Bacchanal Nice. If y'all know who Bacchanal Nice is,
that was the one he was in the music video with.
Well, Bacchanal Nice is like Kendrick's like shooter. He's like his
not Drake's.
Pardon me. He's
yeah.
Drake's shooter. He's a Canadian gangster. He's like in his 40s. He did jail time, did bullshit. He's known for being Drake's muscle, especially in Toronto. Cool. Bacchanal Nice apparently has a sex charge, and people looked into that. And Kendrick had alluded to it like, oh, he was fucking with young girls, and he has a weird. He just said sex charges. You got niggas over there as pedophiles. We don't gotta talk about it. Party next door is at the party doing cocaine. Like, but when we look into Bacchanal Nice's fucking paperwork, first of all, he pled
guilty, but it wasn't.
He had pled to some pimping and pandering, and it was with a 22-year-old girl that basically Bacchanal Nice was trying to pimp her out and was trying to take her money. That's not the same thing as being a pedophile, gang. I'm not gonna lie. That's not the same thing as sex trafficking. It is technically sex trafficking, but that's not like rape or any of those type of charges. Niggas not looking at pimps the way that you look at a motherfucker that rapes.
Yeah.
It's two different worlds.
That's a fact.
Or even somebody that what's that? The statutory rape. It's not the same thing, bro. And you talking about it was a 22-year-old girl. That's on paperwork.
I didn't look into the whole background of that.
But I'm just saying that takes away from the potency, bro. Like you can't just be throwing that, like you said before. You can't just be throwing that pedophile shit around, gang.
Nah, you
especially
can't.
without the real facts. Like, can we really state the facts? Because now one of the big things that was coming out is that whole video of Drake kissing on a 17-year-old girl's neck on stage in Denver, Colorado in like 2012, 13. Now let me explain something.
He does have some questionable. I'm not saying he did, but he does have some questionable tapes as far as you looking back, texting teenagers and stuff. You know
right. I've seen that.
It's very
Haley Bieber. They was texting Haley Bieber, but apparently he was reached out to by her dad, who's actually Alec Baldwin. If I'm not Haley Bieber is Justin Bieber's wife, but she's also she's Alec Baldwin's daughter, the superstar actor. Yeah. That's his daughter.
Yeah, I knew that.
Meaning she's been in these circles with multi-millionaires, billionaires, superstars. She's been in these circles, and apparently Alec was the one who had reached out, like, "Hey, could you help be a mentor?" Because she was getting into the acting and all this other good stuff. But I say all this to say, back to what I was talking about when Drake was kissing a 17-year-old girl on stage. All right, now I'm not defending this, but he was 23 in the video. This is a long ass time ago. He was 23 in that video, and that's not what I'm really even meaning to bring up. An important factor to that is, so Drake being raised in Canada, the legal age of consent in Canada is 16.
Yeah, I knew that.
Meaning, and I'm not saying that's okay, but what I'm saying is that's how he was raised. So if you're raised your whole life thinking 16 is okay legally and morally, I can't judge you for not, because not only did he kiss the girl on her neck at 17, he then asked her how old she was after he did the kissing on her neck. So he didn't even know how old she was. So he thought she looked older. Cool. Then he goes, how old are you? And then she goes, 17. He's like, fuck. And then he said some weirdo shit like, I like the way your breast felt against me. And he's like, why you built like that? Like
damn, you 17,
you 17, but you look grown. And it's like, okay, now if you were raised thinking 16 was okay, maybe that's why he said that slick shit afterwards, because anybody, one of us would have had like, oh shit, I'm going to jail. Like, that would have been your immediate reaction, like, you're what? But not only that, in Denver, Colorado, the age of consent was 16. So I guess that's why, like, I don't know, but like, that's why it didn't become a thing. It wasn't a problem, because I mean, technically, that if you do that, if he would have kissed her in the neck in New York, you would have been to jail, because she was 17. But I say that to say,
semantics.
Like, him being raised,
semantics.
But him being raised in Canada is why, like, that might not have hit him the same way. He might have not looked at it the same way, where like anybody else that was raised out here would have known better. That girl would have looked too young, especially if you're that famous, that big. You wouldn't have brought her on stage and did anything to her besides maybe sing to her face. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't have been no harm, no foul. The second you touch it, that's when there's a problem. But you can sing to a young fan's face. That's what they're there for. You're there to convert them into lifetime fans by having these experiences, bringing them on stage. Touches. Right, like, oh
no
shit.
No pun intended.
Right, right. But and it's crazy because let me not skip over this. The fact that the song is called Euphoria. Kendrick's song is called Euphoria. He was alluding to the fact that Euphoria is a show on HBO.
Yeah, that he was
Drake is executive produced, and that song. I mean that show has a lot of like over sexualization of teenagers.
Yeah.
So even the song title Euphoria was a jab at Drake having anything to do with that show Euphoria, and it just goes into more of like, yo, they were all just trying to play this 4D chess game. Like, but I don't know. I feel like Drake took the cake with that last one, man.
I don't see it that way. And also, it's funny how Drake starts off this whole beef with talking about streams and numbers, that you guys aren't in the same league as me. And then in his last song, I don't care about your numbers. You feel me? Because K-Dot was outdoing him numbers-wise. Now you don't care about your numbers. When you start off the beef talking about you guys not on the same level as me because of numbers. Now you don't care about streams and numbers. But, and then I just felt like in his voice he sounded defeated in his last.
He did sound defeated. He sounded like he was kind of backing out the fight, but it's also he also felt like, yo, there's no way I'm losing this motherfucker. Like all these facts that I'm bringing out, and this motherfucker can't tell you one truth and nothing new. On top of the fact but you got to realize how many people has Drake done beef with? How much new information can there possibly be out there? That's what you got to realize as well. But that don't take away from the fact that listen, I'm hitting you with some shit y'all never heard before. This is gonna hit harder in your heart. It hit harder.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you done beef with 30 niggas before, how much more new information is gonna be out there? In reality. If Kendrick had done beef with 10 people in the past, you think all that stuff that Drake said when it came out already?
Yeah, but
let's be realistic about it.
If you talk about why Drake said that he doesn't care about your numbers no more, it's also because Kendrick allegedly bought a bunch of those views.
Allegedly,
a lot of them views and comments. People, but even the actual the regular fans are looking into it, and they're like, yo, this math ain't mathing. How the fuck? This shit it's not adding up, bro. The comments ain't adding up. The amount of likes on the video, it's not adding up. It's not adding up.
I feel like Drake would have alluded to that in the song.
He did. He said you bought a bunch of bots and comments.
He did say that.
He said that.
He did say that.
That's why he said, I'm not caring about the numbers no more, dog. Like, what's the numbers if you out here manipulating the numbers? You out here buying the views. It's like, yo, just saying, bro.
I think apparently they Kendrick's camp said he's not gonna respond.
Listen, honestly, I think we got enough.
No, I think we got enough too.
I think we got enough, especially because what I kept seeing in the meme was like, yo, listen, first one to pull out receipts wins. Like, first one to get some receipts wins. Because
and my whole thing is, like I said, I feel like Drake is too much of a troll to not pull out the receipts that he was feeding information. That's all I'm saying. I think he's too much of a troll to not pull it out. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because Kendrick's whole angle of the culture vulture, and he's a chameleon and he morphs, and you had to go to Atlanta to get your street cred up in order to get popping down there, and go overseas. You go down to Houston, you go down overseas to Europe, and basically not like us saying you was never not you. This is for the culture. You're not part of this culture. Is basically what he was trying to allude to.
Yeah, man. Listen. All I know is hip hop is in a great space. This was absolutely what we fucking needed. I've never seen so many reaction channels reacting to the same time. Like, I've never seen any of this shit. Like, it's so dope. It's like if Ether, because like, listen, we come from an era. I remember when Ether dropped. I was still living in New York at the time.
Me too. I remember when Ether dropped.
I literally remember when that shit dropped because I couldn't unhear that song everywhere I went. And I'm so young. I'm like 6 years old at the time, but all I hear is them gunshots that do 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 do. What up, niggas? I know you ain't talking. All right, I know you ain't talking about me, dog.
You been on my dick, nigga. You love my style.
I'm hearing gunshots all through New York City out of every car, because this is when you want to listen to something loud. You ain't had no speaker systems. This was speaker systems was $1,500. Motherfuckers was playing that shit out there. Honda Civics. You feel me? So I just remember that. So it's like to see the live reaction everywhere, all around, and see how many people are involved, and like the even you got the young crowd, the old crowd. People are paying attention to the lyrics all of a sudden. People are dissecting. I'm talking about women, children, kids, grandmas, everybody. Like I was part of the culture. I'm sitting down with some of my female clients. They just as in tune as we are. Like everybody's paying attention. Bro, this shit was exciting for hip hop, bro. Yeah. This was a legendary, historic moment, and it was great to see two of the heavyweights of the heavyweights for real. Like like J. Cole could have been involved, but I'm glad he got the fuck out the way.
See what I'm saying about my apology?
Yeah,
I see what I'm saying.
He knew what he was doing. He was like, let me get the fuck out the way.
Let me get out of here.
And apparently, Schoolboy Q, if y'all don't know who that is, that's from Kendrick's camp. He was the one who reached out to J. Cole, was like, yo, bro, stay out of this one. This ain't gonna be that. And he was like, all right, because apparently, like we were saying, Kendrick didn't like Drake, and Drake didn't like Kendrick, is that controversy. But I mean, Kendrick said it best. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
And that was allude to DMX.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If y'all don't know about that DMX interview from that,
and a lot of that would over a lot of people's heads as well.
Bro, it's so many things.
And I even break down Euphoria.
Right.
There's so much.
Y'all. I encourage y'all, please go watch every reaction video you can to these lyrics bar for bar, bro, because if you really break down the science to everything both sides said, bro, it was the most wittiest, smartest, fucking like convoluted, like there was so many double and triple entendres, bro. Like, my God, it was
Euphoria,
fire.
He said he said Joel Osteen, 6 Cents,
right,
and he said some other movie in there,
yeah,
and then this was right after he said it's 20v1, not 1v20. If I gotta go against all the guys you write with you, and then he said Joel Osteen, the 6 Cents in another movie,
and
AI, right? The actor's name was Joel Osmith, not even Joel Osteen,
right?
You know who Joel Osteen is?
Joel Osteen, is that the preacher?
Yes.
Right, the church dude?
Yes, bro. He was saying this is an exorcism for all your ghosts. Bro. He misspelled the actor Joel Osmith's name wrong on purpose to say he's Joel Osteen with all your ghost writers. Bro, I'm telling you, it gets deep. it gets really deep.
Yeah, bro.
It gets really witty, man, on both sides.
Nah, yeah.
On both sides.
It is, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But yo, bro, Drake shit was potent, man. I want to see what
I agree.
I want to see what the world thinks, but I think it's gonna be just a bunch of biases between who you like the most for real. But
listen, I'm a fan of both.
I loved it. Nobody got shot. Nobody got killed.
I'm a big fan of Drake, and I'm a big fan of Kendrick. But
you taking Kendrick?
Yeah. I got Kendrick in this, and like I said, I think Kendrick does lose points about as far as the daughter is concerned and everything.
Listen,
but there were, like I said, there was also inconsistencies on Drake's side when he was just chatting.
That's exactly where I drew the line. I said, "Oh, Drake won," right there. The whole daughter line. That is exactly where I said Drake won. It's over.
I think that even despite that, I think Kendrick won. Despite that.
Hey man,
but you know,
I want to hear what the people have to say. Listen,
and like I said before, I think Drake is too maniacal, too petty to not post the receipts of. He said it took him a week. You tell me you ain't filming, yo. We about to buy. Nothing alluded to the fact that you were sending him on a dummy mission. I feel like Drake's too petty to not do that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he didn't, but if I feel like the Drake we all know, the internet guy that we all know, I think he would have. He would have had some receipts of sending Kendrick on a dummy mission. If he would have done that, Drake, here you go. But I feel like he was playing on to a lot of what a lot of the fans were saying online. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, now I'll take that. But I honestly I think it's not over.
And like. No, keep going.
No, I just think it's not over. They're gonna keep going. I think it's gonna be more of like it's gonna stay on the internet as far as like tweets and memes and stuff like that, little jabs. But I think Drake. Listen, I have a thing about predicting things here. So I think Drake's gonna come out with exactly what you're asking for, exact receipts.
If he does, chalk it up. And if Kendrick can bring up receipts of him having a daughter, that which I don't think he can.
Yeah, he can't. Listen. I think Drake's gonna come with the receipts. I think he's waiting. He's waiting for all this shit to settle for people to think, and then he's gonna spark it right back on.
Well, like if he does that, then I tip my hat off to Drake. But I feel like it was just too convenient. His initial reaction for me didn't add up to I threw the bait and you took it. I feel like he'd be ecstatic if he actually did. Like, oh man, you dumbass nigga, you feel me? But he was in defensive like, oh, you guys are in shambles. Somebody show me my daughter. And then 2 days later, you come out, yeah, we sent you on a dummy mission. I feel like. That for me, as far as how petty Drake is, I just don't think.
Well, listen, man.
That's
whether you think Drake won or Kendrick won, who really won was us, the fucking fans, and the whole state of hip hop.
And who also really won was Paul George and James Harden. Nobody talked about their blunder, but that's besides the point.
Oh, we don't gotta talk about that. Listen, we're gonna jump into a whole bunch of other topics, man, because we didn't ran up the whole hour just talking about Drake and Kendrick, man. We appreciate y'all. Please jump into the comments, man. Let us know what you think. Who won? Who you think is the most maniacal? What? Listen, I still, no matter how this goes. When that Meet the Grams, bro, that was the most demonic fucking diss track.
That was crazy.
I didn't like where it put me at. That was crazy.
That
felt like a low blow. I didn't like it. That was fucking devious.
That was
Kendrick, you're a fucking monster. Drake, you're a diabolical fucking genius. We appreciate y'all from a fan standpoint.
The art is amazing. The art and I'll put it this way, like, as far as, I don't think any of them disappointed. As far as body of work, I don't think anybody disappointed.
Nobody's disappointed.
Nobody disappointed.
Beautiful. We gonna keep this at peace. We gonna keep this on record. Nothing's in the streets. Man, appreciate y'all. Go ahead, comment. Let us know who y'all think won, man. Kendrick or Drake. Listen,
let us know what y'all think.
He got Kenny.
I got Kung Fu Kenny.
Kendrick, I love you, but I gotta call a spade, gang. If you made up 10 songs worth of bull, I mean, you made up 10 out of them 20 minutes was bullshit, you lost.
I see what you're saying.
Listen, them receipts is coming soon too. Receipts is coming soon.
I understand what you're saying, but like I said, you know what I mean. There was untruths on both sides as well.
Yeah. Well, on that note, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, guys.
We'll be back. We might end up having to drop another episode real quick to give y'all some other topics because we went super Kendrick and Drake crazy. But how can we not? Everybody else did.
Everybody else is talking.
Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all check in next week.
Free Gems Podcast, and we out of here.
We gone.